Farscape Engineers Inspector Summary Video. We're here in St. James. This is Farscape number 2. Take a look at a couple of things that need to happen immediately. Again, an all welded fire escape, and we're going to deal with that and what needs to be done. The first thing up here is we got an all wood structure up here, and we've got some PVC pipe railing here. Again, a temporary measure, just so nobody falls through situation. But this needs to be rebuilt. I would definitely do this in iron instead of wood, because through freeze and thaw the nails pop, you know, and this thing is rotten. You can rot it. You can feel the rot. So it's only a matter of time. So while you're replacing the rails up here, which is this is PVC, you need this to be properly attached to the wall, proper height. I do recommend that you bring it up to at least 48 inches here because of the step down. You do definitely need a rail here that comes down here and stops you so that you don't fall this way through it. So this, it definitely needs a rail that comes out down here. So this is just better to get this out of here. Re-rubber this area. So see if there's any work that needs to be done prior to putting the metal down. I mean, putting the metal in here so that this roof doesn't need to be touched. So we got a lot of diamond plate, a lot of water accumulation. The treads are in pretty good condition. And from here I'll start going into what the real issue is. A lot of it is the molding. The molding is all eating the molding of the seat channel. Reverse seat channels, we got a lot of deterioration. In some cases, a lot of this is just, you know, remove certain pieces of the seat channel and certain pieces of the molding. So a quick repair, for example, right here. Several ways to do this. This looks good, but then it gets real bad over here. So a couple options. You cut right here. You cut down there, you pop the molding off, clean it all out. Some cases you might have to replace the channel underneath it. The only issue is that if this thing has lead, and this primer, anything older than 1978 is presumed to have lead, then you can't weld. So that's the issue as to whether we replace these railings with new railings, or the repair has to be a bolted connection repair, because you can't weld unless they come in here and basically isolate certain areas that you're going to be doing repair. But there's too much work on all the rails. All the rails on this one, it's very bad. You know, I mean, very, very bad rail, to the point that it's eaten some of the seat channel. Well, this is a perfect example. Missing pieces of seat channel, so we really got to come in here and decide whether or not new rails or just fix the existing rails. But then the problem just keeps coming, so if it's not here this year, it's going to be somewhere else the next year. So we'll talk about that. Maybe the alternative is to fix the rails, and the second alternative, or a second price to it, is replace all the rails. Now these are already 42 inches, I mean 36. The new rails, I would put them at least, they got to be minimally 42. But now let's talk about, a lot of times these fire escapes don't have weep holes. And especially with diamond plate, this is your source of water. Snow, accumulation. Look at it, this is all done with a finger. And it's eating, and that needed to be sealed. So a lot of this you see from underneath, what the problem is. Treads are pretty good condition, believe it or not. Channels are solid, but as soon as you get inside, you can see where all the problems lie. Joints and corners, we need to seal those all up, clean them all up, seal them all up, reinforce as necessary.
Hey, excuse me.
Over here, yes?
Yo,
Yeah?
yes. Can you move park your car in different
Sure,
way,
we can, yes. So this up here right now is, we're going to have to put a bolt in here and seal all these. You can't have any gaps on welded connections. So as soon as I put a couple of 5/8 on this, we're good. So you got to start to not have to make me verify this through an x-ray. As soon as you basically reinforce any welds. So you see all this welds? Can't guarantee that was done by a certified welder, but as soon as I put a clip on there, a 2x2 clip, bolt it this way, bolt it that way, I don't have to verify that weld anymore. We got to clean out all the rust. See all that growth? You got to clean all that up and seal these joints with silicone, 50-year silicone. Again, treads are in good. Tie this baby back in. See, it's missing its bolt. You got to tie this baby back in so that she doesn't have any wiggle. There's a railing missing on the top one and on this one. Same thing. If you were to fall, you need a left side rail, similar to the one on the right side, basically to stop you from falling in through and onto this window area here. So that can be just 2 lines or 3 lines, but basically you need something to grab it on this side just to keep people from falling anywhere near this window. Let's talk about connections. Bolts. The connection, create a clip. Bolt. Bolts, seal it from the top. Any and all welds, seal them. Bolts. I need an angle. See, even though these are good, you can verify the welds, or you can put an angle clip in here and then you don't need to verify the weld. But you got a lot of water that got in and sealed. And look, you got to clean all that. And if there's lead paint in here, you got to have a renovator's license in order to be touching this, because this is all older than 1978. So let's take a look at this issue right here. Now, look how much rust. So that all needs to be cleaned out, and if need be, you have to reinforce the diamond plate from underneath, or take this out and put in a new one. I believe that the deterioration is only to the isolated area, so all you need to do is reinforce it from underneath with a sister plate of some kind. If it's eaten more than a third of the thickness of the metal, that needs to be verified. So all this needs to be scraped and painted, and I believe this all has, it's got to be done under the EPA guidelines, which is assume that this has lead, and you need to have a EPA renovator's license to touch this. Bolts. 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 After any and all repairs, seal the joints. After you clean, you need to seal all these joints. You got some issues down here. See, this is actually moving. I don't know if you can see it moving, but basically it's not connected. And it's rotting at the bottom there. So, once you get these feet done, I highly recommend that after we clean, we seal. We also put tar on this. It's not uncommon for us, after we get all this done, to tar these feet and then tar them 4 to 6 inches above grade, so that if there's any snow in this area, the tar stops anything from happening on these feet. Because there's been some settling, and this one is actually, you put your hand underneath here, it's not even sitting, so you need to find out what's going on with the stone, and you need to transfer, because this thing is currently right now not transferring this load. We need to clean that all out in the back corner. You need to fill that up and either make sure it's sitting properly and transferring the load correctly, because right now you can move it with your hand, so it's an unsteady structure. You know what I mean? So look at that one wiggling. Oh, yeah. So this fire escape is not properly sitting and not transferring its load. Most likely the only thing is that clip is holding the whole thing up. Diamond plate is notorious for doing this. It's letting the water get between the angle, the C channel, and the diamond plate, and it just rots like that. So it's eating the diamond plate, and it's also eating the C channel lip now. So lots of issues. Look at the one on the front here. Look how bad that is. So again, an all welded fire escape that needs reinforcement. In lieu of a load test, it needs rebolting reinforcement, and the rails need to be either temporarily addressed or just replace the railings with new 42-inch high. And due to this lead-based, looks like a lead-based primer, renovator's license required. Again, this is a school. Any lead, because of the children in the school, has to be dealt with correctly. And the other thing too is that in regards to a permit, the school must notify the state and identify whether they want a permit for any and all repairs being done on this. There's currently no emergency violations on this side, but there is emergency violations on the other side, in that the treads are not sound on the other side. These treads seem to be okay. I don't have any evidence of rusting on all these treads, even though they're all welded. They've held up very well. The other side I can't say as much. Any questions? Fire escape engineers, Inspector Meneses here. 800-649-3333, 800-649-3333.